One of the most shocking truths about men over 50 is this. Your testosterone isn't dropping because you're getting older. It's dropping because your body is being pushed out of balance every single night. I'm Dr. Claire Monroe, and what I'm about to show you today will make a lot of things finally click. If you've noticed your energy fading, your mornings getting weaker, or your confidence changing in ways you can't explain, it's not your fault, and it's not permanent. Hormones, sleep, stress, and blood flow are pulling against each other, creating a silent drain on your masculinity. Stay with me, because once you understand why this is happening, you'll finally know how to turn it around using simple, natural steps that work with your biology, not against it. One of the most shocking truths about men over 50 is this. Your testosterone isn't dropping because you're getting older. It's dropping because your body is being pushed out of balance every single night. I'm Dr. Claire Monroe, and what I'm about to show you today will make a lot of things finally click. If you've noticed your energy fading, your mornings getting weaker, or your confidence changing in ways you can't explain, it's not your fault, and it's not permanent. Hormones, sleep, stress, and blood flow are pulling against each other, creating a silent drain on your masculinity. Stay with me, because once you understand why this is happening, you'll finally know how to turn it around using simple, natural steps that work with your biology, not against it. Let me break this down simply, because if you understand this one section, the rest of your life will make a lot more sense. 1. The 3 nighttime disruptors that shut down testosterone. First, light exposure. Even small amounts of blue light from your phone, TV, or bedroom lamps tell your brain that it's still daytime. When that happens, your brain delays melatonin, and if melatonin drops, testosterone drops. Microhook. If you scroll your phone in bed, you're literally blocking one of your body's strongest boost testosterone signals. Second, stress hormones. Cortisol rises when you're tired, irritated, or mentally overloaded. Cortisol is like kryptonite to testosterone. Men with chronically elevated cortisol can lose up to 40% of their natural testosterone production. Third, poor vascular repair. Every night, your blood vessels try to heal from the day. If you sleep poorly, that repair never happens. And without strong blood vessels, erections weaken even if testosterone is normal. 2. A real patient story. This happens more than you think. A 63-year-old patient named Harold came to my clinic convinced he needed testosterone injections. His mornings were weak. His energy crashed. His confidence sank. But when we reviewed his habits, the problem was obvious. Sleeping with the TV on, scrolling his phone in bed, waking up twice per night, eating late dinners. Not one of these men believes this is serious. But combined, they destroy the body's ability to boost testosterone naturally. We didn't prescribe hormones. We prescribed a nighttime reset based on natural remedies and behavioral changes. Within 3 weeks, his morning strength improved so much he thought something miraculous had happened. It wasn't a miracle. It was biology, finally allowed to work again. 3. The one hormone that controls the entire night, and most men ignore it. Melatonin isn't just a sleep hormone, it's the switch that turns on your body's nighttime repair mode. Without it, testosterone doesn't surge. Blood vessels don't heal. Nerves don't reset. Microhook. Fix melatonin, and you fix half the problem already. And here's a fact most men never hear. After age 55, melatonin production can drop by 50 to 70%. That means your nighttime testosterone surge simply never turns on. 4. The natural reset you can start tonight to boost testosterone naturally without medications. Here's the simple fix I give to my over 50 patients. Dim lights 60 minutes before bed. No screens in the final 30 minutes. Magnesium. Glycinate 1 hour before sleep. Melatonin low dose if needed. Avoid heavy meals 3 hours before bed. This is the beginning of your nightly repair ritual. And trust me, men who apply this report dramatic changes within weeks, sometimes days. Because here's the real surprise. One specific nighttime nutrient doesn't just help you sleep, it directly increases nitric oxide and blood flow, creating stronger morning erections in men over 50. Now let's talk about the nutrient most men ignore, but every man over 50 should be paying attention to. Because this is the one that directly affects your blood flow, your nitric oxide, and your morning strength, all while you sleep. And no, it's not some exotic herb or expensive supplement. It's magnesium. If you wake up tired, stiff, or weak, 80% of the time, magnesium is involved. 1. Why magnesium is the missing link for men over 50? Here's the simplest way to understand magnesium. It is the mineral that tells your blood vessels, your nerves, and your muscles to relax so blood can flow freely. Without magnesium, the smooth muscles inside the penile arteries cannot loosen, and without that relaxation, no amount of testosterone can create a strong erection. This is why many men say, "My desire is fine, but the hardness isn't there." Microhook. Desire comes from hormones. Hardness comes from blood flow. And magnesium affects both. 2. The science made simple, so any man can understand it. Magnesium helps your body create nitric oxide, the chemical signal that tells blood to rush into the penis. When nitric oxide goes up vessels, open blood surges, and confidence returns. When magnesium is low, nitric oxide drops, vessels stay tight, erections weaken. Here's the shocker. Nearly half of men over 50 are magnesium deficient. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because stomach acid decreases with age, medications like PPIs and diuretics deplete magnesium, modern foods contain less magnesium than before microhook. Your body can't boost testosterone if the blood flow switch doesn't work. 3. A real case you need to hear. A 58-year-old man named Daniel came to me with a problem he was embarrassed to say out loud. He still had desire, but his erections were unpredictable. Some nights strong, some nights weak, some nights nothing. His testosterone was normal. His labs looked fine, but his magnesium was low, extremely low. We added magnesium glycinate 1 hour before bed. Nothing else changed. 2 weeks later, he said, "I wake up with strength again." I thought those days were gone. Magnesium didn't give him superpowers. It simply restored the system his body was trying to use all along. 4. Why magnesium must be taken at night. This is where natural remedies meet real biology. At night, cortisol drops, nerves calm, blood vessels repair, melatonin rises, testosterone gets restored. Magnesium boosts each of these nighttime processes. Taken earlier in the day, you miss the entire benefit. Microhook. Taking magnesium in the morning is like watering a garden after the sun goes down. Wrong timing, weak results. 5. How magnesium helps boost testosterone. Magnesium increases free testosterone by reducing a protein, SHBG, that traps testosterone, so even if your total testosterone is normal, you may still feel weak if your free testosterone is low. This is exactly why magnesium is part of every Boost Testosterone plan I give to men over 50. Most men over 50 don't realize they're running dangerously low on melatonin. And when melatonin drops, you don't just lose deep sleep, you lose testosterone recovery, blood flow repair, and prostate stability all at the same time. People think melatonin is just a sleep pill. It's not. It's the master switch that turns on your entire nighttime repair system. If that switch is weak, every part of your body works in slow motion. When melatonin rises at night, something powerful happens. Your blood vessels relax, nitric oxide becomes easier to release, inflammation settles down, and testosterone finally has the chance to rebuild. But when melatonin is low, and for men over 55, it can drop by as much as 70%. You can lie in bed for 8 hours and still wake up drained, foggy, or weak. If you've ever said, "I slept, but it feels like I didn't," melatonin is almost always the missing piece. Here's the part most men never hear. Melatonin protects the endothelial lining inside your blood vessels, the same lining that controls whether your body can open the arteries that send blood into the penis. If that lining is damaged, the signal doesn't fire, the arteries don't open, and no matter how high your desire is, your body struggles to respond. It's not psychological. It's not just age. It's poor nighttime repair. Melatonin also talks directly to the prostate. There are melatonin receptors inside prostate tissue, and when melatonin is low, the prostate becomes more irritated, leading to nighttime urination. Every time you wake up, your testosterone recovery window is cut short. 2 or 3 awakenings are enough to lower next morning testosterone noticeably. Many men think they have a prostate issue, but in reality, they have a melatonin issue that no one ever identified. I remember a 67-year-old patient named Victor. He woke up 3 to 4 times every night, felt unrest every morning, and believed this was just old age. We didn't start with harsh medication. We simply restored his natural melatonin rhythm and paired it with magnesium to calm his nervous system before bed. 3 weeks later, he told me he was waking fewer times, sleeping deeper, and feeling stronger in the mornings than he had in years. If any part of this feels uncomfortably familiar, if you're realizing that your nights may be the real reason your strength has changed, you can subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next steps. Everything I share is designed for men over 50 who deserve clear, honest guidance without confusion or embarrassment. And right now, you're probably wondering, how much melatonin should I take? When should I take it? How do I combine it with magnesium or vitamin D for the strongest results? All of those answers are in the next part, a simple nighttime routine that many men say completely changed how they sleep, wake, and perform. Now that you understand how magnesium and melatonin work at night, it's time to put everything together into a simple routine. A routine that tells your body, every single evening, repair now, restore now, rebuild testosterone now. Because men over 50 don't need more chaos. They need rhythm. They need consistency. They need a repeatable system that works with their biology instead of fighting against it. Here's the truth most men never hear. Your nighttime environment shapes your morning performance. Not the gym. Not the supplements you take at noon. Not the motivational quotes on your fridge. Your nights decide your mornings. And every great result I've seen in men over 50, better energy, deeper sleep, stronger erections, comes from one thing, a predictable nighttime ritual. Let me show you what that looks like. First, your brain needs a clear signal that the day is over. Not a maybe, not a sort of, but a sharp biological shift. When you dim your lights an hour before bed, melatonin rises naturally. When you put away screens, the pineal gland stops receiving the false signal that it's still daytime. This one change alone often improves sleep for my patients within days. Then comes magnesium. You take it about an hour before bed, not in the morning, not at lunch, because nighttime is when your nervous system needs it most. Magnesium helps relax smooth muscle, quiet the stress response, and support nitric oxide production for the next morning. When you give your body magnesium before bed, you're not taking a supplement. You're lowering the internal noise that blocks testosterone repair. And then the part men always underestimate, vitamin D. Most think of it as a daytime nutrient because of sunlight. But for men who want deeper sleep, better testosterone balance, and stronger morning vitality, taking vitamin D with your evening meal, especially if that meal contains healthy fats, can help reset the circadian rhythm. It doesn't knock you out. It doesn't sedate you. It simply tells your internal clock, this is when the restoration cycle begins. When you pair these three, melatonin rising naturally, magnesium calming the system, vitamin D anchoring the internal clock, your body enters a repair mode that most men haven't experienced in decades. I've watched men in their 60s and 70s regain morning strength they thought was gone forever. Not by force, not by shots, but by finally aligning their biology with the nighttime rhythm it was designed to follow. And if you're listening to this and thinking, I've never had a routine like that, or no one ever explained it this way, you're exactly the kind of man this channel was created for. If this is helping you see your health more clearly, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next steps. I share everything men over 50 need without shame, without confusion, and without the noise. Because the next question is the one every man secretly wants answered. How long until I feel the difference? And the answer depends on one factor that almost no one talks about. We'll break that down in the next part. Most men expect changes overnight. They take something once, go to bed, wake up the next morning, and when nothing dramatic happens, they think it didn't work. But that's not how the male body works after 50. Your system doesn't break in a day, and it doesn't rebuild in a day. It rebuilds through rhythm, repetition, and repair, especially at night. Here's the real truth. The speed of your results depends on one thing: how consistently you let your body enter its nighttime repair mode. Not perfectly, not obsessively, but consistently. I've worked with hundreds of men, and almost always the pattern is the same. The ones who improve the fastest aren't the ones who take the highest dose, or buy the most supplements, or try every trick on the internet. The fastest improvements come from the men who simply follow the same nighttime routine every single day. Because each night, your body gets another chance to repair the vessels that carry blood, another chance to restore testosterone, another chance to calm the nervous system, another chance to reset the prostate, another chance to strengthen nitric oxide pathways. It's like laying bricks. One night doesn't build the wall. But show up every night, and the wall becomes unshakably strong. Some men start feeling changes within a week. Better sleep, fewer awakenings, more energy. Some notice stronger mornings after 2 or 3 weeks. Others take a month before the improvements become obvious. And all of these timelines are normal. Your body heals at the speed of your consistency. Here's a microhook to make this hit deeper. If your nights have been unstable for years, your mornings won't magically stabilize in 3 days. But give your body even 2 weeks of predictable nighttime repair, and you'll feel something shift, subtle at first, then stronger, like a light turning back on. I once had a patient, 71 years old, who asked me, "Isn't it too late for me to improve?" 3 weeks later, he said, "I wake up with more clarity and strength than I've had in a decade." He didn't change his job. He didn't change his diet. He didn't change his personality. He simply changed his nights. And if you're sitting here wondering whether your body can still rebuild, whether your testosterone can still rise, whether your circulation can still strengthen, whether your confidence can still return, the answer is yes. Your body is waiting for cooperation, not perfection. Waiting for rhythm, not miracles. If this is helping you understand your body in a way you've never heard before, you're welcome to subscribe so you don't miss the final sections. Not because of the algorithm, but because men over 50 deserve to finally hear the truth, not the myths, not the shame, not the confusion. Just the truth, explained simply. And next, we're going into the part most men say changed everything for them: how to combine all of this into a nightly ritual that boosts testosterone, increases blood flow, and restores confidence with clarity, not guesswork. At this point, you finally understand what most men never learn in their entire lives. Your nights decide your mornings. Your biology isn't failing you. It's waiting for you to work with it instead of against it. And when you begin restoring that nighttime rhythm, something powerful happens. Not instantly, not magically, but steadily, predictably, and deeply. Let me show you how all the pieces connect, because this is where everything clicks for men over 50. Melatonin signals the brain. The day is over. Begin repair. Magnesium calms the stress response and prepares blood vessels for next morning's strength. Vitamin D anchors the internal clock so hormones rise and fall at the right time. And once those systems align, testosterone finally has the chance to rebuild the way it was designed to. Here's a microhook that might stay in your head for days. Your body is not too old. It's too interrupted. When the interruptions stop, the repair begins. I once treated a 62-year-old man named Jonathan. He wasn't unhealthy, just tired, frustrated, and convinced something inside him was broken. He told me quietly, "I don't feel like myself anymore." Not dramatic, just honest. We didn't chase 100 supplements. We didn't chase extreme diets. We didn't chase miracle cures. We rebuilt one thing: his nights. 3 weeks later, he said, "I'm waking up with strength again. And my confidence, it's coming back. Not ego, not performance anxiety, just a man who felt like a man again." This is why the nighttime ritual matters more than anything else you've tried. By the time you reach your 50s or 60s, the question is no longer, can my body still produce testosterone? It absolutely can. The real question is, am I giving my body the conditions it needs to do its job? Most men aren't. Not because they're careless, but because no one ever explained it clearly. And if you're listening right now, I want you to hear this part deeply. There is nothing wrong with needing help. Nothing weak about wanting clarity. Nothing embarrassing about wanting your strength back. Men lose years of their lives staying silent, staying confused, staying ashamed. You don't have to. If this video has given you even one moment of understanding, one moment where you thought, that finally makes sense, then you're already further than most.